All right, what's good, everybody? Russ Morris again here, back with another episode of the Press Box on this wonderful Friday. Hope everybody's summer is going well. We've got a lot to get into as the Texas high school football season is right around the corner, as it starts on Monday with teams reporting for 2 days. The volleyball season starts actually this Saturday, believe it or not, as a lot of teams are having Midnight Madness, and well, the school year is rapidly approaching for some, just to say the least. So, without further ado, let's just go ahead and start talking some Texas high school football, shall we? As it's once again that season is rapidly approaching with the start of two-a-days on Monday. So today's episode, all we're going to do is preview conferences 1A and 2A. We're going to go 1A Division 1, 1A Division 2, 2A Division 2, 2A Division 1, or in whatever order. And we're going to do conference previews all the way up to the first week of the regular season for the 2026 football season. So I'm going to be using the Dave Campbell's book as a guide just to go through everything because I don't remember the districts off the top of my head. This was a wild round of conference realignment. So let's just go ahead and dive right into it. Excuse me. So in 1A Division 2, let's go ahead and start there. The reigning state champs, which is the Jayton Jaybirds, they're no longer in 1A Division 2. They are now in 1A Division 1. We'll talk about that later. The state runners up in 1A Division 2 is Richland Springs. They had some turnover at the head coaching position. Their head coach decided to step down and retire, so they have a brand new head coach for the 2026 season. The Benjamin Mustangs, who were going to be, according to Greg Tepper, the state's number one in Conference 1A Division 2 this year for the preseason. Well, they lost their head coach because he decided to go to Gordon and become their head boys basketball coach, and he took his son with him. His son's name is Keegan Hayes, and he's going to be the stud athlete for the Gordon Longhorns. So there's a lot of turnover at the 1A level. So starting with the top 25 in 1A Division 2. With that said, they put Dave Campbell has the Benjamin Mustangs, who they lost to Jayton in last year's regional semifinal. Well, the Benjamin Mustangs enter the season ranked third in the preseason top 25. The Cherokee ISD is now the preseason one with the Motley County Matadors in second, Richland Springs fourth, Strawn fifth. I could not agree more with that top five, to be honest with you. Um, Motley County is going to be a force to be reckoned with in Region 1, and we'll get to that here in just a second. Some others that stand out, if you are a listener here or a viewer out in West Texas, Paducah and Valley are in the top 15. The Paducah Dragons ranked 11th, and the Valley Patriots ranked 12th. Additionally, the Knox City Bulldogs ranked 19th, and the Guthrie Jaguars ranked 20th. Now, this is interesting because Motley County, Paducah, Valley, and Guthrie are all in the same district. Okay, well, in this order that is projected to be the finish in district is Motley County, Paducah, Valley, and Guthrie, the top four teams in this district. Think about that. So let's just go ahead and dive right in it. They have in 1A Division 2, Dave Campbell has Motley County over McLean, Cherokee over Richland Springs in Region 2, Benjamin over Zephyr, and Oakwood winning Region 4. They have Cherokee winning the state championship in 1A Division 2. Their sleepers are Miami, Coolidge, Fanadale, and Westbrook. This will put a mental note on that as well. In 1A, let me make sure, get my markers set. Okay, in 1A Division 2, in Region 1, it's McLean and Miami in District 1. And once again, Motley County, Paducah Valley, and Guthrie all that were ranked in the preseason top 25. All four of those teams are projected to finish in the top four of the playoffs. But the kicker for six-man at the 1A level in six-man is the top two teams from each district qualify for the playoffs. So that district is brutal for Motley County, Paducah Valley, and Guthrie. Moving on, not a lot of others to talk about until we get further on. Cherokee and Richland Springs are in the same district. That's going to be a fun battle. Benjamin and Knox City are in the same district. That's going to be a fun battle. And this is all in Region 3. Yeah. And yeah, so then you look at Strawn as well in District 11. They lost to Richland Springs last year. They look like they're primed and ready to go to make another run deep into the playoffs. Yeah, it is. It is unpredictable, and I'm a writer for. I'm a sports writer for a couple of papers out that way. The Caprock Courier, I contribute to some of their coverage as well, along with the Knox County News Courier. And ladies and gentlemen, 1A Division 2 is unpredictable. It is the most wide open conference and division in all of Texas high school football for the 2026 season. If Coach Nathan Hayes had stayed with Benjamin, I think Benjamin would have been the runaway favorite. But there's just no telling. I do think there is one for sure though, and you have to go all the way back to District 1. District 2 of Region 1. I do believe that Motley County is the favorite to be to make it to the state semifinal in Region 1. But it is a coin flip for who's going to make it there in Region 2 because, man, I have no idea. I don't. Maybe that might be Cherokee. Maybe that might be Richland Springs. It could be Benjamin. Could be Knox City. I don't know, but it remains to be seen. So, with that said, because Benjamin is in Region 3, and they have. Speaking of, before I get ahead of myself, the Benjamin Mustangs have made a decision at head coach. They have decided to hire from within. Their head basketball coach is now their athletic director. His name is Aaron Kuhler. He's a Benjamin kid, a guy. He grew up in Benjamin, went to school at Benjamin from his time in kindergarten all the way to his sophomore year of high school. He's from the area. He's got all entire family is from the area. He was on the staff when you may know him. Caleb Rigdon and the Rigdon contingent was firstly at Benjamin in 2022, 2023. He was there. He learned that offense. Coach Hayes, he learned under Coach Hayes to put a defense together. And you talk to Aaron Cooler, he thinks that Benjamin has been very disrespected all throughout this. So we'll see. I have Motley County and Benjamin in the state championship. And I think Benjamin ultimately beats Motley County in this one. That's just my personal opinion. But once again, it remains to be seen, as this is once again the most wide open conference in all of Texas high school football. So, with that said, we move to 1A Division 1. And let me tell you how crazy this is. So, as mentioned, the 1A Division 2 state champions have moved up to a conference, have moved to 1A Division 1. Well, with them in the up there is the Gordon Longhorns as well. So, these are the two most recent dynasties across both divisions in 1A, and now they share the same division. So this is going to be interesting to see. And let me tell you how wild this is. Jayton enters the year. They enter the season ranked third. Gordon, the reigning state champs, they rank fourth. Rankin, the state runners-up for 1A Division 1, they start the season ranked first. Borden County, perennial powerhouse in Conference 1A in six-man. They're in sixth. Whiteface, Jolly Come Latelys, they're in seventh. Klondike, the last four appearances in the state semifinal for Lamesa Klondike. They have been one game shy of getting to a state championship. Could this be it? They enter the year ranked ninth. Sands is with them. They moved up with them as well. They're in 11th. Keep going on and on and on. Hermley ranked 19th. Westbrook 21st. Sterling City back in Conference 1A, ranked 23rd. Aspermont ranked 24th. Once again, I could keep going on. I think Gordon is the favorite because of Keegan Hayes. If Gordon is able to be healthy, I see no reason as to why Gordon cannot get back there. What's interesting though is Region 1. That is Nazareth, Spring Lake Earth, Whiteface, and Whit Harrell. Okay, they have Nazareth and Whiteface in the same district. Oof. Yeah, that's going to be interesting over there. Jayton and Hermley in the same district. Well, Jayton, Hermley, Aspermont, Roby, Rotan, and Spurs. Forgot to mention, Spur went 10-1 last year. They made the playoffs. They won district, made the playoffs. Well, they have a new head coach and athletic director. What's going to happen with what's going to happen with Spur? They went, I'm trying to make sure I have everything correctly. Sorry, they went 0-10 after going 10 and after winning the district championship the year prior to last year. Sorry, I have my years mixed up. So they're in the same district with Jayton. That is a rivalry that has been renewed. Okay, I think Jayton is the class of Region 1. But get this. If Jayton is to make it to the state semifinal, they will likely play Nazareth or Whiteface in the regional final. Think about that. Well, then we look over in Region 2, okay, in District 5 of 1A Division 1. Borden County, Klondike, Sands, Westbrook, Ira, and O'Donnell. Yes, Sands and Klondike moved up a classification along with Jayton. Sorry, moved up a division along with Jayton. Well, congratulations. You get slotted with Borden County in Region 2. As well, with that region, as previously stated, Rankin is there in that region. The state runners-up from last year. They're there. Water Valley, Menard, Sterling City. Sterling City was a perennial state or perennial regional power back in the 2010s. Well, they had a quick stint at the 11-man level. They're back in at the 6-man level. You tell me, Region 2 is loaded as well. Then you take a look over at Region 3, Gordon, probably Gilmer Union Hill, Newcastle, uh, probably Oglesby and Ladina. Sorry, Medina. That's probably it. But I mean, I could keep going. I could keep going forever with this. I forgot to mention in Region 1, you have Happy, the Happy Cowboys. They're no slouch. They're always a sleeper team. They're always a dark horse that you have to be mindful of to make a run into the playoffs. So yeah, that's just that. That's where we're at. Yeah. So again, Conference 1A, it's wild. I personally, I have Jayton and I have Gordon. I think Jayton, because of, yes, Jayton is young, but they are battle tested. This group that has coming up, that is coming up, they still have solid athletes. Seeing them in person, it is something to behold. The standard in which everybody holds themselves to over in Jayton, and I think the state championship is going to come down between Jayton and Gordon, and I think Jayton three-peats in state. I think Jayton three-peats this year. So that's it. If I have to give sleepers in 1A, uh, Valley is one. Valley, Turkey Valley, they're coming off of a state championship in basketball. They have a coach that's in his second year at Valley. Valley is an up and coming program. If they get hot, look out. They have some length that they can handle with. Um, Westbrook is another one. Miami. Um, I do think Borden County could be one to say, look, if Borden County and Jayton play each other in the state semifinal, like I think they probably will, I think the winner of that game could determine the state championship. I do. I have Borden County playing Jayton in the state semifinal. So, man, we're in for a good year at the 6-man level. Thank the Lord, because it is finally more wide open than it has ever been in a long time. So we look ahead over to the 2A level. Let's talk about the two previous state champions at Conference 2A. Hamilton, the reigning state champs at 2A Division 1. They're no longer in 2A Division 1. They've moved up a classification to 3A Division 2. We'll get to 3A in the next video. Talk about how crazy that is. Munster, I believe they won 2A Division 2. I believe Munster, if if I'm going through everything correctly, I believe Munster has moved up a division, and they are in 2A Division 1. Bear with me as I'm scrolling through my magazine. Yes, they are in 2A Division 1. So let's start with 2A Division 2, shall we? So with 2A Division 2, no surprise, the top two teams in the Dave Campbell's preseason top 25 for 2A Division 2 is Bremond and Stratford. So what I find interesting is Ropes at third, followed by Groover, and then Collinsville. And then it's Albany, Windthorst, Wink, Chilton, and Wellington. And that is your preseason top 10. Excuse me. Real quick, Mart, Annual Power, they check in at 14. Crawford, they check in at 12. Goldthwait at 13. Uh, Stanford at 17. Yes, you heard me that correctly. Stanford, 2 years removed from playing in the 2A Division One state championship game. They are now in 2A Division Two. West Texas Stinnett, a year removed from playing in the 2A Division One state semifinal. They are also in 2A Division Two. So yeah, that's where we're at there. Um, a team. I'm gonna go ahead and give you my sleeper for 2A Division Two. That is Windthorst. I think they have the best quarterback in that conference. In that division. His name is Brock Belcher, so you might want to go ahead and get to know him. He is very, very accurate. He is a prolific thrower of the football. I'm not. He's a. Let me make sure. Yeah, he's a three-time All-State. Yeah, three-time All-State quarterback over at Windthorst. Windthorst could be a problem in Region 2 of 2A Division 2. Now, let's circle back to Ropes because this is interesting. The Ropes Eagles have a new defensive coordinator. He comes over from Stratford. His nephew was the starting quarterback over at Stratford. Well, he's now going to be the starting quarterback for Ropes. His name is Chase Lantley. So you need to get to know him as well. And it's because of that. Ropes actually has a quarterback. Okay, keep in mind, Bo Riker is the athletic director and the head coach of the Eagles. He is a defensive-minded coach. Okay, he calls the defensive shots. His offensive coordinator is Michael Pittman. Okay, Coach Pittman, in my opinion, for the first time in his coaching career, actually has a legit quarterback taking snaps for him under center. Now, will he be utilized to throw the ball? That remains to be seen because Coach Pittman's offense is a run power based offense. So we'll see how this goes. We'll get to that and more here in just a second. Sleepers. Sorry. So let's look at the regional picks for the magazine. They have Stratford in Region 1, Albany in Region 2, Collinsville in Region 3, and Bremont in Region 4. They have Stratford winning the state championship. Okay. We will we will find out. And I'll get to that here in just a second because I'm kind of surprised they went that route. In District 1 of 2A Division 1, Stratford, Groover, West Texas Stinnett, and Bovina. Okay, Bovina, I'm going to start with them first. Oh, sorry, Vega's in this district as well, but I'm going to start with Bovina. Bovina finished fourth in their district last year. Okay, they were in the same district with Farwell, Hale Center, Lockney, I believe, in that district. Bovina finished in fourth, but they went 3 to 4 rounds deep last year in the playoffs. They returned quite a bit of people. It's going to be fun to see what they do. They have 18 returners. They return eight lettermen. They have 5 offensive and defensive starters returning. Once again, they went 5-5. They were a regional semifinalist, and they went 3 rounds deep. They finished in 4th place in their district. Eli Rocha, seen his highlight film. He's going to be a menace for them. He's arguably one of the best athletes that Bovina has ever had. It's going to be fun to watch. But looking at Stratford and Groover, the winner of that game is going to be the overall district champ. I have Groover winning that district and Stratford coming in second because they lost their quarterback. Um, West Texas, they should be fine. I think having them finishing in third is probably accurate considering who all they lost and where their head coach is at now, with him being at Floydada. So the Comanches will be fine. Um, but yeah, Groover, I think, should, because of the turnover that Stratford had with their quarterback and losing a coach. Groover should, I think I think they have a stronghold on that district for now. But don't count out Stratford because they could possibly meet each other once again in the playoffs. But I highly doubt it because of Ropes and Ropes. That district is Ropes, Sudan, Seagraves, Plains, Morton, and Smyre. Ropes should mollywop this district. I'm sorry, there's nothing more to add. Uh, Ropes. They have 16 returners. They return 14 Letterman. They have 5 offensive starters returning, 6 starters on the defensive side of the ball. Um, yeah, they have a quarterback by the name, once again, is Chase Lantley. He's 6'1". Zayden Pittman, that's Coach Pittman's son. He's going to be probably on the outside. He's 5'8". He's quick. Caden Rikers, their stud running back. Fullback and linebacker. Yeah, their entire, if you kept up with Ropes and you saw them and you kept up with them during track season the last couple of years, their sprint and their 4x200 relays, they're gonna be a problem. Um, this should be this should be the year for Ropes. Um, if it's not now, I don't know when. Groover has eliminated them in the playoffs the last couple of years. So if this group can't get them to the state semifinal, I don't know when it'll ever happen for Ropes. There's another team in Conference 2A that I can attest that to, and I'll get to them here in a little bit. You may have an idea as to who I'm talking about, but stay tuned for that. Staying in Region 1, the southernmost district, that's Wink, Ira Ann, El Dorado, and McCamey. That is District 4. Once again, Wink should run away with that district. And I'm not even going to look at District 3. That district's terrible. It's Roscoe, Tahoka, Lockney, Crosbyton, Pathway Academy, and Big Spring and Rawls. Ugh. Just Tahoka could win it, but I think it's going to be between Roscoe and Tahoka. I think Tahoka's probably going to come out on top in this district, but I would not be surprised if the Plowboys do their thing. Over in Region 2, Wellington, Wheeler, Quanah, Clarendon, Shamrock, Memphis, and District 5. Once again, what Wellington, that's another stranglehold that they'll have on that district. Now, here's one that gets interesting. Is District 6. Okay, this is Windthorst, Haskell, Petrolia, Seymour, Archer City, Electra, and Monday. Okay, this is an interesting district. This a lot of these teams were in the same district last year. The UIL kept them together once again this year. But I'm keeping my eye on Monday. I think Monday, I don't. They could. I think they can compete for that fourth team for that 4 seed. I don't think they're good enough. They're not good enough right now to contend for the district title. But their new head coach that they're bringing in, his name's Coach Jeff Ward. He's the offensive coordinator over at Mineral Wells. He comes over from there. He spent some time at Wichita Falls. He's from the area. He played at Quanah. Quanah and Monday used to play each other a lot back in the day. They don't hardly do that anymore. Trying to get that series revitalized once again. Monday, if you're not familiar, they've 2-time state champs at the 2A Division II level in 2012 and 2013. So, and it's a when that town and that program is thumping, Monday is a force to be reckoned with. Okay, they're back at the 2A level across all sports. You know, so this is a good time to be a Monday Mogul. I think they're going to catch a lot of teams by surprise. Um, but the problem is that Windthorst is in this district, and they have, in my opinion, the best quarterback in 2A Division Two. He's for sure between Region One and Region Two, the best quarterback that's there. Um, Windthorst, I think, should run away at the top. I think I think there is a 4-team battle between Seymour, Archer City, Electra, and Monday. And I think 2 and 3 is right. I think it's Haskell and Petrolia. Seymour could get in the mix for that 3 seed, but I kind of like what Dave Campbell has here. But I think Monday winds up getting that 4 seed. Keep an eye out on the Monday Moguls this year. They're going to be fun to watch. Now, Monday, if you're not familiar with them, Monday is right outside of Seymour. It's in the Wichita Falls, Texoma area. It's right there. Um, they do when they do get athletes, and by athletes I mean NFL caliber. They do have quite a few athletes playing in the NFL. And how I know this, I didn't write the article about it in the Knox County News Courier, but they had an NFL player come back to his hometown and provide and do like a camp, a workout for the community. They had him go. He set up at Wichita Falls Memorial Stadium because he was a graduate of Midwestern State. He set up shop over there and had a camp for the Wichita Falls Monday and for the entire area. So Monday is known to produce some elite talent. Staying in Region 2, this is where it gets interesting for me. This is an interesting district. District 7 of 2A Division 2 is Albany, Goldthwaite, Stanford, Cross Plains, Hamlin, Miles, and Winters. Albany right now is the favorite in this district, but I think Stanford is probably going to wind up winning this district. Goldthwaite in the early 2000s, late 90s, Goldthwaite was a perennial state power. They do have multiple state championships to their name. They've been slowly trying to work their way back. But I think the problem is they have a head coach at Stanford that has been around the block, done it before. Same style of coach that Albany has with the same type of pedigree. I think those are the two best teams in this district. But I do like Stanford, and I'm probably a little bit biased on that, seeing that coach up close when Post lost to Stanford in the 2024 regional final. Just seeing that dynamic work, give me the Stanford Bulldogs. District 8, that's Crawford, Mart, Santo, Frost, Wortham, Meridian, and Hubbard. I think Mart's going to win this district. No shocker, but this is a guy that's in his second year as a second year with Mart. The guy that he took over for was a legend, and Mart's having a down year by their standards. They're a perennial playoff team contending for district championships, and their caliber of an off year is they went 2 rounds deep. So that's currently where we're at, and there's not much more to talk about until you get deep into Region 4. Again, that's Bremond and places like that. So, my state championship, my regional picks are. Let me go back and use their guide as a guide I can go off of. Region 1, I have Ropes. Region 2, I have Windthorst. Region 3, I have Collinsville. Region 4, I have Bremond. And my state champion is going to be Windthorst. I have Windthorst defeating Bremond in the 2A Division II state championship game. So now we move over to 2A Division 1. You'll see some new additions back into 2A Division 1, and this is where this is where we'll end it for today. Is our discussion for 2A Division 1. Ganado, no surprise, they come in, they check in the preseason ranked number 1. Shiner, okay, they were the 2A Division 2 state runners-up. They lost to Munster. Well, Shiner is there. Joaquin, they lost to Hamilton in the state championship game for 2A Division 1 last year. They come in ranked 3rd. Cisco, okay, they come in ranked 4th. Mason 5th, Axtell 6th, Munster 7th, Post 8th, Panhandle 9th, Rosebud Lot 10th, Hawley 11th, Refugio 12th, Kennedy 13th, the Spearman Lynx at 14, San Augustine 15, Ozona 16, Thorndale 17, De Leon 18, Alfred 19, Garrison 20, San Saba 21, Price Carlisle 22, Shelbyville 23rd, Anson 24th, and Beckville 25th. Hosts, I'm going to start with the Bowl Gold. They're the only team in their district ranked inside the Dave Campbell's top 25. Cisco, make sure I have this right. Cisco, Hawley, De Leon, and Anson. That is the top 4 teams from that district. They're all ranked in the top 25. Panhandle and Spearman, that's the top 2 teams from District 1. They're ranked in the top 25. I think a team that is missing that should be there that I would have over Beckville is the Farwell Steers. I think they should have been ranked 25th, but that's neither here nor there. I think Ozona lost a lot of people. I think it's because of the running back success that they had last year is why they're getting the benefit of the doubt at 16. That remains to be seen. I think they were a one-person crew last year, talking about Ozona. So, before we get into the rundown by district, the region winners for Dave Campbell are as follows. They have Post winning Region 1, Cisco winning Region 2, Joaquin in Region 3, Ganado in Region 4, and their state champion, they have Ganado winning the state championship. They have Weimar, Santos, Santa Maria, and New Home as their sleepers. New Home, that's no surprise. Their athleticism is always good. So let's go ahead and run down here. Panhandle, Spearman, Amarillo, Highland Park, Sunray, Sanford, Fritch. You're going to see a lot of 5-team districts out here in Region 1, aside for one district, and we'll get to that here in just a second. I like this order, Panhandle and Spearman. I'm going to flip it, though. I think Spearman wins the district. Panhandle comes in second because Panhandle needs to find a quarterback. Broxton Robinson carried the Panhandle Panthers last year on his back. It did not go the way that they wanted it to go. They had an unceremonious end, I think, in the second round. Yes, they did. Give me Spearman and their team speed to win this district. I think Sunray will come in third, and I think Amarillo Highland Park will come in fourth. So it'll be back to normal in that district for a little bit. District 2, this could be a fun district. Tulia enters the fray. in this district, they dropped down from 3A Division 2 to 2A Division 1. This district is Farwell, Hale Center, Olton, Toyid, Floydada, Farwell, and Hale Center move up a division from 2A Division 2 into 2A Division 1. And Farwell's my sleeper pick in Region 1. I'm going to be completely honest. I think they are a team that you cannot take lightly. Okay, their head coach was an offensive coordinator a couple years ago at Prosper Walnut Grove. That's a 5A school. Okay, if you watch any 5A, any version of 5A football, and you see them run the spread, it is a very intricately run spread offense. Well, he's brought that philosophy to the 2A level. Okay, nobody in Conference 2A runs the spread offense as intricately and fundamentally sound as the Farwell Steers do. Keep that in mind. Hill Center is another fun team to watch, but I think this district that they're in, I think physicality is going to catch up with them. I do think they're going to finish in second place though. Olton, I think, is a solid pick for third. Do not count out Floydada this year. Okay, Jeff Smith is a great head coach. Now he's got a challenge on his hands over at Floydada. They've had a lot of turnover. Their numbers have been down. The freshman class they had last year wasn't as big of a class as they thought it was as far as the boys program goes. They're solid on the girls side of things. But I think Floydada can knock off some wins here. I think Floydada can beat Toya, and I think they can knock off Olton if they're on their A game. I think they could be a contender for that 4 seed. Jeff Smith is actually that good of a coach. His teams don't. He's a program builder. He's a program rebuilder. His teams don't wait around long to make noise. So that's where we're at there. Now, District 3, this is where it gets interesting. Post, New Home, New Deal, Abernathy, Sundown, perfect order. However, I think New Deal comes in second over New Home only because of Coach Hill. Yeah, only because of Coach Matt Hill at New Deal. Okay, New Deal, I believe they won the district. Yeah, they won the district championship in track this year. So they've got a chip on their shoulder. Coach Matt, you cannot underestimate Matt Hill. I think he's the Mike Gundy of the region. His teams always are primed for success in the playoffs. Their physicality is, you cannot sleep on New Deal. Abernathy had made some changes at their head coach. Keith Velasquez takes over. He was their offensive coordinator. He is actually not a Coach Pittman disciple. He's a Daryl Daly disciple. So his teams, I believe this Abernathy team is going to try to get more physical up front, and they're going to spread it out more. But I have been told that there have been some depth issues on the boys' side of things over at Abernathy that could bite them later in the year when the going gets tough. Then we look at Sundown. I don't know what to make of them. I know for sure you can't sleep on them because as long as they try to stick to their fundamentals and try to be physical up front, you know, they're a team that can easily knock you down when you least expect it. But I think Post is head and shoulders the favorite in this district. And there's going to be another team that you're going to hear me compare them to because of the same reasonings for both teams. You look at, Post is going on 5 years removed from playing in the state championship game over in Arlington back in 2020. Post has been trying to figure out how to get back there because there is some feelings of You think that they probably should have won the first one if they could figure out how to pass the ball in 2019. In 2020, you get there, you hang 22 points on Shiner, but the Brooks brothers were a 1-2 punch of something to behold. Well, then you have turnover at the head coaching and at all of the coaching positions after 2021. You take over, Coach Wright comes in, brings in the spread offense, and now it looks like the physicality is back. They look like their prime. Expectations are high for Post this year. And I say this about Post. I'm going to be honest. If not now, when? The same thing can be said for that team up in Ropes as well. If not now, when? There's another team there's a team in Region 2. There's actually 2 teams in Region 2 that I'm going to talk about that are under this same type of expectation. But once again, Post is the universal favorite in Region 1. They are expected to make the state semifinal at the they're expected to make the regional final at the very least. So expectations are there. And once again, just like 2025, Landon Garcia is the preseason offensive MVP for this district. So there's a lot of eerily similar feelings that I get from a certain Bowl Gold team in 2001. The Antelope, in 2025, the Antelopes had a superb season but didn't finish how they wanted to, falling in the first round of the playoffs. I pulled up the archives for Post back in 2001. It said for entering that season, 2000 didn't go the way Post wanted, but there's good expectations for the Antelope for the Bowl Gold in 2001. It's the 25th anniversary of that team that made it to the state semifinals in 2001 for the Bowl Gold. I'm just going to leave that there. We'll preview, we'll digest everybody more as the season approaches and we get into game days and we start breaking down games and stuff. But for right now, I'm just going to leave that there. For Post, if not now, when? And we leave it there. Moving down south in District 4 of 2A Division 1, that's Ozona, Sonora, Forest, San Cristobal, Ballinger, Reagan County, Colorado City. I don't like Ozona as the preseason favorite. I don't like Ozona. I like Sonora as the season's favorite. I think Sonora, Ballinger, I think Sonora is the district champion in that district. Cristobal, I think, is probably going to finish in second. Reagan County, I think, is going to finish in third, and I think Ozona is going to finish fourth. That's honestly how I see it. So moving on over to District 5 of 2A Division 1. Cisco, Hawley, De Leon, and Anson, Hyco, and Abilene TLCA. Cisco and Hawley. Okay, Cisco, this is supposed to be the senior class at Cisco that is going to bring the Lobos back, is what I've heard over in the big country. Now, Hawley, they have a new defensive coordinator. He was Abernathy's head coach. It's Justin Wiley. Okay, well, in this district, Hawley is the most recent state champion. They made it to the state final and lost in 2021. They came back and won it in 2022. Cisco is a perennial favorite. Okay, they're a perennial power. You have to always lace up your bootstraps, pack your lunch, and go to work if you're going to play Cisco. So my question is this. For Hawley and Cisco, if not now, when? If you can't make it if this group for both Holly and Cisco can't make it to the state semifinal, when will they ever get back? Because Region 2 in 2A Division 1 is a region from hell. Okay, the district that they'll be paired up with in the playoff: Munster, Albert, Tioga, Olney, Nakona, Chico. Munster, the reigning 2A Division 2 state champs. They're right there. Over in District 7, Mason, San Saba, Johnson City, Brady, Bangs, and Coleman. Brady comes over from 3A Division 2 as well. Mason, the Puncher Dome is back. They're a regional power. Down south by the Waco area, Axtell, Valley Mills, Boscoville, Italy, Dawson, Rysell, and Itasca. Axtell, they lost to Hamilton in the regional final, and you're Axtell. You're like, we've been here, we've done that. So if you're Cisco and Holly, and you look at the region that you paired up with, and you're saying to yourself, if not now, when? Because of look at who we're surrounded by. Let's go over to Region 3. Not really much to talk about over in Region 3. Uh, yeah, not really much. Probably Joaquin and San Augustine are probably the two classes of the region. Nothing wrong there. But Ganado and Shiner is where it's at. They're in the same district. They play each other August 16th. They probably could meet up with each other again in the regional final. Of course, I know they'll have to go through Refugio. Somebody will. But this is brutal. This is brutal. So with that said, we'll end it with this. My regional picks are this. I have Post in Region 1, Holly in Region 2, San Augustine in Region 3, and I have Shiner in Region 4. My state championship is Post over Shiner. I have Post winning the district championship in their district, and I have a rematch of the 2020 state final, and I have Post winning it. So that's where we stand. This has been a preview of Conference 1A and 2A. Next week, Monday or whenever I can get free and come back, we'll go over conferences 3A and 4A, and we'll do a preview there. Also want to say Monday is the MLB trade deadline, so I may wind up going live on YouTube or Facebook and just talk about and just recap all that went down with the trade deadline on Monday. So be on the lookout for that. But this has been my Conference 1A and 2A preview. Let me know in the comments what you think. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you guys next time. So long, everybody.